To present the Business Advocate of the Year Award, please join us in welcoming President and CEO, RMR and Associates, Robin Sachs.
Good evening. How is everyone doing tonight? It truly is an honor and a privilege to be here tonight. I'd like to thank the entire chamber, the new board, congratulations for giving me this opportunity. I am a lifelong Marylander and a proud Terp. Yay, go Terps. And it's an honor to be here tonight to present this award to Clark Kendall. Just a little bit of background. Clark and I originally met a few years ago when Clark was looking to establish his brand image and to get greater awareness for his firm, Kendall Capital Management. Together, we branded Clark as the premier financial advisor for the Montgomery County middle-class millionaire. And I'm sure there are a lot of middle-class millionaires in the room tonight. Not only is Clark my client, but I am Clark's client, and I can tell you, Clark is the best. Not only do they deliver on the expectations that I had for a certified financial planner, but Clark has exceeded all of my expectations. Now on to the award. The Business Advocate of the Year Award recognizes the significant impact of advocacy efforts to advance the Chamber's goals. As an active member of many committees, Clark has attended and co-chaired many meetings throughout the year where advocacy was discussed. Then, as the Maryland General Assembly got underway, Clark pursued one of the Chamber's priorities, which was tax reform. Now, how many here would like to pay less taxes? I think we all would, right? Okay, well, the net result of Clark's work with the Maryland General Assembly is Maryland will now be recoupling. I don't know if you guys know, but they decoupled the estate tax from the federal. Clark has gotten the recoupling along with the chamber, which is going to save everyone in this room a lot of money. From $1 million to $5 million, Maryland estate tax will gradually be going up. Now, I think that's huge for all of us. It's going to save everyone a lot of money. So, in conclusion, Clark is truly deserving of this award for being a strong advocate for small business and all Marylanders. It is my distinct honor to welcome the Business Advocate of the Year Award to my friend, President and Founder, Clark Kendall.
Hey, I'm very humbled and honored to be recognized tonight. It's been a long road, and I appreciate everyone's work. I started Kendall Capital 10 years ago, but the joke in the office is, you know, my pretty face gets the business, but my two colleagues, Paula Bruning and Margie Logie, are the brains of the operation. I want to thank them. Also, RMR has done a great job. I am an advocate for that middle-class millionaire, and there are some needs. Montgomery County, Maryland needs middle-class millionaires. to run any type of business, too, you got to have the support of your wife. And my wife has been a big supporter of me for the past 27 years. She believed in me, and she keeps on pushing me and sort of say, you can do it. And she's always had that unfailing confidence. But I also want to do a shout out to our own Ilya Hopkins. She's the political advocate here at the Montgomery County Chamber. To say the least, in the state of Maryland, Annapolis is a political maze. And Ilya did a great job. She dressed me up. She put, as I like to say, she put lipstick on the pig. She pointed me in the right direction, and she let me voice my opinion. And quite frankly, they heard us in Annapolis, so I thank her very much. I don't know if many of you know this, but I always think of myself, I am Montgomery County. I've lived here since 1967, even though I don't look that old. I lived here, I went to public elementary, middle, and high school. But my first job was I worked for Sam Eig at the Washingtonian Country Club, bussing tables. For you who've only lived here 20 years or less, the Rio Grande is now where the Washingtonian used to sit. Working as a busboy at $1.60 an hour, it was the most valuable lesson I ever learned. I learned and watched a man who watched the revenue, who kept track of the costs, but he knew every single busboy, waitress, and dishwasher's name. He cared about people, and that really stuck with me. Later on in life, I had the opportunity to work for a man called Willard Derrick. Willard Derrick, whether you know it or not, was the engine that took Sandy Spring Bank from a one-branch bank at $10 million to a $2 billion institution. And what Willard Derrick did, he always said, care about people first, and the money will come back to you tenfold. And that's so true. The last person that I've admired for a long time has actually been my own father. And many years ago, he was on this stage, and he was actually one of the original Beltway bandits, as I like to call him. He's probably shaking his head over there at table 10 right now. But let me tell you something. Many times at our dinner table, he'd win a government contract and come home and say, I won the contract, now I got to manage and motivate people to make money. His motto, at least his motto while I was growing up, was bid to win, manage for profit. But what that really brings us down to is Montgomery County is really about people first. And that's what we do. We do business between people and people working together. But businesses and individuals need to make money. I can't emphasize that enough. As a private client wealth manager, before the recent changes in the Maryland estate tax law, I would sit down and strategize with clients, and we would strategize when and how those wealthy middle-class millionaires should leave Maryland. I'm proud to say that when clients now come into Kendall Capital, there's no longer the agenda item, when do we leave, or what's our exit strategy from the state of Maryland. And I applaud our officials for taking the first step to making Montgomery County and Maryland a better and friendlier place for that middle-class millionaire. Tonight, I encourage every single person in this room to think about one law and regulation that our legislators could change to make Montgomery County a friendlier place for each individual. Because when you write laws and regulations to incentivize individuals to work in the best interest of the community, we all win. The decoupling of the Maryland, or the recoupling, I should say, of the Maryland inheritance tax for the benefit of the middle-class millionaire is a win for everyone in this room. and also not only for everyone in this room, but for the Montgomery County and the state of Maryland. So thank you again for the generous recognition, and may God continue to bless Montgomery County.